I was just reviewing some sales projections, sipping my water in seat 2A when the actual pilot, walked off the plane. Just got up and left. And I knew right then this wasn't going to be a normal flight. Not for me. Funny thing is, 10 minutes earlier, everything had been fine. I'd been up since 5, suit pressed, bag packed, mentally rehearsing my pitch for the biggest meeting of my life. See, I'm the CEO of a fast-growing robotics company, Kinetic Core Labs. Today I was heading to Houston to meet with Luna Capital, who might drop $60 million into our healthcare division. I'd built this company from the ground up right out of a garage in Oakland. And today was the payoff. So I booked first class, like I always do. Seat 2A window. Extra legroom quiet. Boarding was smooth. The gate agent smiled, scanned my pass, said, "Enjoy your flight." "Mr. Bryant." I nodded. Briefcase in hand, stepped onto flight 743 with confidence. But then came that moment right when I crossed the threshold when the flight attendant's smile froze, like she'd seen something she didn't like but wasn't sure how to say it out loud. Her name tag read Melinda. Mid-40s, tightly wound bun voice like cold steel. I nodded polite, moved to my seat. That's when it started. She gave coffee and a hot towel to the guy in 2C, white dude in a wrinkled but clearly expensive blazer. Called him Mr. Hawthorne. Asked how he liked his coffee black, 2 sugars. Handed him a magazine. Small talk. Weather in Houston. Like they were old friends. Me. She walked past me twice before I had to ask for coffee. She said, "Boarding pass, please." I blinked. I already showed it at the gate. She didn't care. I handed it over. 2A, I said. She didn't respond. Just looked at it like it might be counterfeit. No, how do you take your coffee? No towel. No magazine. Just suspicion. And I tried. I really tried to brush it off. I had work to do. I had a meeting to focus on. But then she came back again, and again. Asked to see my ID, loud enough for people around to hear, like I was some kind of threat. Just standard protocol, she said, like I hadn't already watched her. Not do the same to Mr. Hawthorne or anyone else. At this point, people started staring. Hawthorne leaned over and said, "Hey, it's just security stuff. Better safe than sorry, right?" That hit me. Better safe than sorry. Safe. From what? From me. I kept my voice calm. I said, "I've shown my documents. I'm in my seat. What exactly are you checking for?" Melinda didn't answer. Just said, "We'll have someone speak with you shortly." And sure enough, she brought over a tall guy, broad-shouldered, name tag read Troy, head flight attendant. He looked uncomfortable. "Sir, may I see your ID and boarding pass one more time?" "One more time?" I asked. "This is the 3rd time. No one else has been asked more than once." He gave a rehearsed line. "It's just procedure, sir." I handed them over. Again. And at that moment, I caught something in Hawthorne's eyes. That smug little look like, "See, I knew something was off about you." Then Melinda dropped the line that lit a fire in me. She leaned in and whispered barely above a breath, "Maybe you'd be more comfortable in economy." Right then I froze. Not because I was afraid, but because I recognized that voice, that tone. I'd heard it when my father got pulled over driving me to school. I'd seen it when my mother got followed around department stores. That quiet calm. Why don't you just move kind of racism? Polite. Deadly. I didn't flinch. I didn't give her the satisfaction. But I saw someone across the aisle, a woman, white hair, pearl earrings, back straight like she'd been trained by a courtroom. She was watching. And a few rows back, a younger black attendant, maybe 30, looked like he wanted to say something but didn't. Yet. That's when the head attendant came back, leaned down and said, "Several passengers are expressing discomfort. Perhaps you'd consider taking a different flight. We'd rebook you, of course." There it was. Get off the plane. But dressed up like a favor. I said no. I have a meeting in 4 hours. I paid for this seat. I've complied with every request, even the unnecessary ones. I'm not going anywhere. He nodded, murmured something and said he'd speak to the captain. Now the cabin's watching. Phones are out. Hawthorne mutters something like, "Man, just chill. You're making this a thing." And then the captain arrives. Uniform sharp, 4 stripes, calm face, reads the room in 2 seconds. What seems to be the problem, he asks. Melinda launches into her story. I was aggressive, uncooperative, raising concerns. I reply, "Sir, I've done nothing but sit quietly and provide documents. The only thing I've questioned is why I'm the only one being checked repeatedly." Captain raises a brow, asks to see my ID and boarding pass himself. I give it. 4th time. "Jamal Bryant," I say, CEO of Kinetic Core Labs. There's a flicker in his expression. Recognition. He nods, turns to Melinda. "You claim Mr. Bryant was uncooperative." "Yes," she says quickly, "and several passengers witnessed it." That's when the older woman across the aisle stands. "Captain," she says, clear as glass. "I've been a civil rights attorney for over 4 decades, and I've watched this entire situation unfold. Mr. Bryant has been respectful, professional, and unfairly targeted. This is racial profiling, plain and simple." Melinda snaps back. "You don't understand." "Oh, I understand perfectly," the woman says. "And so do the dozens of phones recording you." You could feel the shift, passengers murmuring, eyes on Melinda, on the captain. He stands silent for a second, then says, "Please remain seated. I'll be back." And he walks off the plane. 5 minutes pass. 10. Whispers everywhere. Then he returns not alone. 2 airline reps, 1 security officer. He faces Melinda and says, "Please gather your belongings. You won't be flying with us today." Dead silence. What she yells. This is reverse racism. But the captain's calm. "We reviewed the footage. Your behavior violates company policy." She loses it, full meltdown, yelling, blaming me. "You people always..." The whole cabin gasps. "You people," I repeat quietly. "Let it hang." Security escorts her off. The captain turns to me. "Mr. Bryant, on behalf of this airline, I sincerely apologize." I nod. "Thank you for doing the right thing." From that moment on, the flight felt different. The young black attendant name was Marcus came over, brought fresh coffee in a ceramic mug with a handwritten note. "Thank you for standing your ground. M." Even Hawthorne tried to shake my hand later, said he misjudged. I gave him a polite nod. That's all. By the time we landed, my phone was lighting up. Video was everywhere. CNN, MSNBC, even Luna Capital called. They moved. My meeting to dinner said their founder wanted to meet me personally. And you know what? That night I closed the deal. $60 million. Not just for my company, but for expanding healthcare access into underserved black communities just like the one I grew up in. But here's the thing. That wasn't the real win. 3 months later, I launched the ClearPath Initiative, an AI-driven platform to detect racial bias in customer service across airlines, banks, hospitals. We partnered with regulators, trained executives, changed policies. The ripple started in seat 2A. Now I gotta ask you, if you were sitting in my place facing that quiet disrespect, that subtle exclusion, would you have stayed silent, or would you have stood your ground? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever witnessed something like this? What did you do? And if you believe dignity is something no one should ever have to earn, hit that like button, subscribe for more real stories, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because staying silent, that's no longer an option.